3, 2, 1.
您好，我的朋友，习近平是亲爱的熊。
What did you just say?
I said President Xi Jinping is a honey bear. Look up the Xi Jinping Pooh Bear scandal. They have banned Winnie the Pooh in China because people kept making fun of the president by saying he looked like Winnie the Pooh.
I think you mean emperor.
He is a god king now, but whatever. By the way, you're listening to Tabletop Trainwreck, and this is Bill.
And this is Liam.
Alright, so today we're going to be discussing more of a genre of game, rather than a specific game, because there's a lot of them out there, and they're all pretty simple. Today we're talking about deception games.
Deception, also known as hidden identity games. Those are games where, generally, actually really with this one, all of them, the identity of at least one, but often all members of the game are entirely hidden.
Yeah. There's a small amount of deception that's inherent in a lot of games where you can never be entirely sure about what your opponent's doing, or if you're playing a card game like Magic, for instance, you don't know what they have in their hand. But with a deception game, that's the whole point. The whole point is that they don't know what you have and you can lie about it. And that's where most of the interactions come from, is that sort of unknown.
And that can make for a lot of really fun gameplay. It can also make for a lot of broken friendships.
Oh, yeah.
Kay and I, we are on rocky grounds after a game of Secret Hitler.
Yeah.
But, as I just mentioned, Secret Hitler is one of those games. If you ever played Secret Hitler, it's really good. If you haven't, I recommend it. If you're offended by Secret Hitler, I get that.
Yeah. It is not... Never mind. Just edit that out.
One time, Henry and I played with a Jewish girl, and we didn't know she was Jewish. And it wasn't until later that we found out, and it wasn't a good time.
But she sat down and played with you anyway?
Yeah, she sat down and played with us. Granted, she was very high at the time.
Oh.
So I don't think she quite realized. And then when she sobered up, she was like, oh, that was kind of fucked. And Henry and I were like...
I don't think it's that bad. It's not like Fascism Simulator 20...
No,
whatever year it came out. But
2012, maybe.
2012. But
2K12.
But 2012 World's Ending.
But Secret Hitler is one game. You may also know the Werewolf game, Mafia.
See, I'm not going to count Werewolf because it is literally Mafia.
All right, I'm going to count Werewolf because they do have some distinct differences.
It's just a ripoff of fucking... I don't know if it ripped off Town of Salem or if Town of Salem ripped off it. Both of them ripped off Mafia. So I guess this is as good a place to start as any. Mafia. If you've been to summer camp, you probably know what it is. When I went to summer camp, we called it Alien, but it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, there's lots of different names for it.
I mean, Alien is more kid-friendly than the fucking Mob, but...
And I guess so are werewolves in a way.
Yeah. I mean, they're all murderous. Terrible, but... Regardless. Irregardless. In Mafia, you get together with a group of people, and you randomly choose a few of them to be the Mafia, and everyone else is the town. And each day, it works with like a day-night thing. So during the quote-unquote day, the town, which does include the Mafia, votes on someone that they're going to hang that day. Or maybe they don't vote at all, and they don't want to hang anybody. And then during the night, the Mafia can pick somebody to kill. And no one knows who the Mafia is except for the other Mafia members. So the goal of the Mafia is to kill the rest of the town, whereas the goal of the town is to hang all the Mafia.
Question. So, if I remember correctly, this is a distinction, though, between Werewolf and Mafia. Mafia, everyone's playing, right? There's not a narrator?
No, there has to be a narrator kind of person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's usually one person that's facilitating everything, because otherwise it'd just be a mess.
Hold on. I'm going to look up the Werewolf game on the Wikipedia, because I remember there was a distinction between Werewolf and Mafia.
I had to suppress a burp there. We're going to try to keep the bodily functions down in the future. Because, listening back, it's a fucking issue. The phlegm in the Warhammer episode was pretty good, but then, the last one was just, belching and chewing and all this bullshit, so... I'll try
We're going to do our best.
Although we might leave a few in for comedic effect. I don't know yet.
Huh. I remember there was a distinction between the two, but maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, the main distinction is that they're, roles that the town people have, but I'll get into that in a bit. So Mafia is a pretty basic game. You really don't need any materials at all.
Yeah, it's pretty
aside from like maybe a few slips of paper that you like hand everyone, some of which have the word Mafia written on them.
And some of them just have villager or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of like the most basic form of a deception game. And a lot of those Mafia style games tend to like devolve into not devolve, but like they turn into kind of
a lot of like whodunit. Like really trying to piece together like and I don't know about you, but with my family when we played with a werewolf game or The Werewolves of Miller Hollow. That was the first one I ever played.
Yeah.
But when we played that game, a lot of it came down to like who would want that guy dead.
Yeah.
Dominic, if you ever listen to this, I'm very sorry. He's the one cousin that if he survives one round, like if he survives the first round, we know he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
It's just kind of you have to kill him.
For the greater good.
The greater good.
But yeah, so it's a very popular game, and like at like summer camps. That's where I first played it.
Yeah.
At the fucking YMCA summer camp, which was an interesting place.
You went to the YMCA summer camp?
Yeah, I'll tell you where later. But
I went to the YMCA summer camp. Did we go to the same one? Was it the one off, like way off in the woods?
No.
Oh.
It was like in a civilized area, relatively.
Oh. Okay.
In a different town.
I think mine was in a different town too. Anyway.
Yeah. So there have been a few games that have like kind of, I don't want to say monetized it, but because they are different in a way, but like there are board games that are essentially the same Mafia experience with a little twist added to them.
Yeah.
The most notable one is Werewolf. It's the same idea. There's a narrator. He gives out roles to everybody. Someone's a werewolf. A lot of other people are townsfolk.
Or they have very special roles.
Yeah, that's kind of the main difference between that and Mafia, is that in Mafia it's just like townsfolk versus Mafia people.
Mafiosi, maybe?
Yeah. Mafiosum.
Well, in Italian...
I forget how Latin declensions work. It's been years.
I mean, if mafioso is
would that
Italian...
be a conjugation? I don't fucking remember.
If mafioso is Italian, mafiosi would be the plural of mafioso.
Yeah. But in Werewolf, all the townsfolk have like a unique role that can do something. So it's a little bit more involved, I'll give it credit for that, than something like Mafia, because the storyteller has to like each night go through every role and see like what they're doing that night.
And often it's fun, at least. I mean, Mafia, you can definitely do it too. It's really easy to do. But at least with my cousins and I, when we played Werewolf, we always like do like fun ways the person was killed.
Yeah. If you have like a good narrator who's like good at describing a story, it can be goofy.
Yeah.
But yeah. The other big one is Town Salem, which isn't strictly a board game. It's like a Flash browser game, which I have like a weird love-hate relationship with.
It's true.
Because like that's kind of my go-to killing time in class game. But now that I'm done with class, like I have very little reason to play it. But sometimes I'll just pop in it anyway.
That was the first time we really memed about Harambe.
Oh my god. There was just this one fucking night. We're up till like 3 a.m. We named ourselves like Cecil the Lion and Harambe, and we just shit up Town of Salem. It's so much fun. I think Kay actually was close to dying of laughter.
Yeah, he was fucking busting a gut. And this was like the day Harambe died. So like we hadn't seen a ton of memes at that point, so it's not like it lost its vigor.
We got into it before it was cool, so if you can all fuck off with your Harambe bullshit.
That was also the night, like literally that day, one of our friends made a Harambe Tinder.
Oh my god.
So if you were ever in, can we name the city? I mean, it's a big city.
If you were in Massachusetts and you saw Harambe the gorilla on your Tinder, it was someone we know.
Very good chance.
DT, God bless you.
But where the fuck were we?
We're talking about Town of Salem.
Yeah, Town of Salem.
It's the same thing except it's like online, so there doesn't have to be a narrator because the game handles all that shit for you. And because of that, there can be a lot more roles. And Town of Salem gets fucky because normally it's like just the Mafia and just the town. Or just the werewolf and just the town. But in Town of Salem, there's like... The Mafia has like 5 or 6 different roles. There's also a serial killer who works he's like an antagonist to the Mafia as well, who's also trying to kill everybody. Just like a different party. There's also a jester who wants to get hanged, and if he does, he wins, and takes someone with him. There's an executioner who tries to get a random townsperson hanged, but after that can win with anybody. It gets weird, and that's just like the base game. There's also like, they added a bunch of new shit. There's a whole Coven update that you have to pay for. I'm not paying fucking money for Town of Salem. You can kiss my ass.
You know, one thing I do like about the specific version of Werewolf called Ultimate Werewolf, I think it's called Ultimate One Night Werewolf.
Before you do that, just one more thing. Town of Salem, I found out recently, was actually like based on a mod for StarCraft 2.
What?
Yeah. Or maybe it was StarCraft 1.
What the fuck?
I shit, you know, I think it was just called Mafia. But, like, you could play Mafia in StarCraft.
How the fuck could you play Dude, fucking modders, man. Yeah. Alright, listen, if any modders listen to our podcast...
Whoever made Pimp My Peon, I love you. That is the best... We're talking about Warcraft 3 now. Fuck StarCraft. Fucking Pimp My Peon is the single best mod I have ever seen for anything. I love Pimp My Peon.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
Fuck off.
Whoever made first Hoi Hoi, H-O-I, have you not played Hoi Hoi?
No.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. Well, whoever played Hoi Hoi, made Hoi Hoi, and whoever made Castle Fight, you guys are the fucking best. Why are you naming
things I haven't played?
How have you not played either of those?
I don't know. I played Pimp My Peon was always my favorite. I played Footman Frenzy a couple times, which I didn't love.
I wasn't as big on Footman Frenzy. I like normal footies, but I don't like Footman Frenzy.
Yeah. What was that one we played a fuckload of? Like Legend of the Galactic something? Or no, that's an anime. It was like this weird like Dragon Ball Z Naruto thing.
Oh!
What was it fucking called?
Legend of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Where it was what the fuck is that called? It's not Dota, but I fucking love Legend of the Dragon.
No, it was Dota. I think.
It was a little different. It wasn't Dota. I know it wasn't Dota, but it was something kind of similar to it. Where like you had to buy items and like maximize yourself. And in Legend of the Dragon, you just got obscenely powerful.
Oh yeah. The best part of that game was just like, because the AI didn't know how to fucking play.
No.
So we'd like go and like grind to the max and become like Kid Buu or whatever. Because someone like made a model for fucking Kid Buu. And that game was great.
Dude, there's even like Baby Vegeta in that game.
And so you'd go to the middle of the map, find demonic Satan, kick the shit out of him, buy like 20 more tomes of power, and then go fight other people.
Dude, it was such a fucking good game. Anyway, this is a tabletop.
I don't give a fuck. No more rules. There's no rules anymore.
If any of our listeners would like us to talk more about video games, I guess we can, but we'd have to make a whole nother podcast for that.
I guess. I don't want to be another fucking video game podcast. There's too many of those.
Well, that's what we'd call it. Another fucking video game podcast.
That's fair.
I swear to God, if any of you steal that idea, I already have copyright on it. Alright? It's fucking out there. Copywritten. You steal it, I sue you.
I will go full fucking Games Workshop on this. I will sue you for trying to make a... This actually happened. Someone like made a book about like something of the Space Marine, which like Space Marine is about as generic of a descriptor as you can get.
It really is.
The Space Warrior. And then Games Workshop fucking sued them. Thankfully they didn't win. The court was like, fuck off with this.
Isn't that why they changed Tau to Ow? Because they wanted copyright on it?
That's probably why. That's also why it's like Adeptus
Astartes.
Well, that was always there, but what am I thinking of? Astra Militarum. That's what they call the Imperial Guard now, because like
Imperial Guard is like, I feel like that's a literal thing.
But see, here's the thing: it's like we're talking about Warhammer now. There's no rules in this podcast anymore.
No more rules.
No justice, no peace. But I don't like a lot of these new names they're giving them. Like, I don't like Astra Militarum as much as Space Marines. I don't like.
You mean Adeptus Astartes?
I don't. Yeah. I don't like Adeptus. Fucking A. I can't remember them. I don't like Astra Militarum as much as like Imperial Guard. Mm-hmm. Imperial Guard just sounds better.
It does. It does. Like no one. Everybody calls it IG. No one calls it Astra Militarum.
Yeah. And like, what the fuck is that with the Tau? Like,
yeah, they changed it from Tau to Ow.
Just add a fucking apostrophe. You know what? Props to them for giving me a source of memes, but, like, also fuck off.
Also, shout out to Tal Buttplug, our great friend.
I'm going to confess something on the air right now.
Oh, yeah?
I've contemplated making a Tau army.
Will.
I know.
You fuck.
I know.
Listen to you, little shit. You fucking fucked us. No one's going to listen to our podcast now.
Yeah. I had a good idea for them.
I'm going to murder you when you're fucking asleep.
I'm sorry, I still hate Space Wolves.
I like Space Wolves, though.
Fuck off. Space Wolves are the actual worst.
Space Wolves are great. No. They're just like big Viking boys.
No, but they're not Vikings. They're just furries. Because you open the book and it's like long wolf, short wolf, big wolf, tall wolf.
Yeah, but like it's like Vikings.
One wolf, two wolf, red wolf, blue wolf. That's the fucking codex.
To be fair, I like werewolves and I like Vikings, and they just smashed them together, and I'll take it.
Yeah, but they're not cool anymore. Because they're not. Here's the thing: Vikings should be mean, and they should be like unscrupulous, angry people. That's fun Vikings. But these aren't fun Vikings. They're like portrayed as like the misunderstood heroes that like.
Well, like to be fair, Vikings weren't total assholes.
They targeted monasteries because the people there wouldn't fight back. I'm not gonna take that shit.
I'm not saying they weren't assholes. I'm just saying
yes, you just did. You just did.
No. I'm saying they're not. I'm saying they're not total assholes.
What are they well known for? Their cultural developments or raiding fucking monasteries?
Both.
No. If you go up to a random person in the street, like, what did the Vikings do? They'd probably be like, oh, they raided people.
Yeah, until
they're not going to say like, oh, they invented lenses, because no one cares about that.
Yeah, until you talk to like a fucking history major. And
yeah, but
like,
no one talks to history majors.
You're talking.
They're exactly like you, where they bring up bullshit like this, like, oh, the fucking Vikings weren't that bad. Fuck off.
Did you know that the Vikings are actually very cleanly?
I don't give a shit.
Like, they were actually very clean. They really cared about hygiene.
So do the Romans.
Yeah. I'm just saying Vikings are basically...
But what I'm saying is Rome is better.
Debatable.
No, it's not. Actually not.
Debatable.
It's just like a Jizo Man episode.
Almost!
I think maybe we should put the whole country's bit in a bonus Jizo Man. Because... I mean, admittedly, all of our viewers, according to Podbean, come from the U.S., who I put as S tier, so they can't get mad at me.
True. Yeah. True. Anyway. So we're going to move from werewolf, which we would say, / mafia, which we would say is probably the most simple.
Yeah, that's the most basic form.
I'm going to move to one that's a little higher on the list, and that would probably be the Resistance and probably coup mixed in with that.
Coup is different. Cou's like... I want to talk about coup real quick because
I've never played it. Will has.
It is a very, very simple game.
Okay.
So basically, the way coup works is everyone is dealt 2 cards which have 2 rolls on them. You keep those hidden from everybody else. There's a collective pool of credits that people can draw from, and every turn you can do one action. You can either do an action that your card lets you do, one of your 2 roll cards lets you do, or that you fake having, you know. So if you want to like pretend, like say you need extra credits and you want to pretend to be the Duke, you can just say, I'm the Duke. I'll get to what all the roles are in a bit. Alternatively, there are 2 things everyone can do, which is they can either take 1 credit from the pile, or they can spend 7 credits to eliminate someone's card. So the point of the game... Liam's jerking off at it. Sorry. The point of the game is to be the last one holding cards. So everyone has 2 cards. You can draw new ones, but if one of them gets eliminated, you can't get that card back. So if you had 2 cards, someone kills one, and now you only have 1 card, and that will last for the rest of the game. Games are very quick.
Your ass is quick.
So, like I said, everyone has 2 cards. Each one is a roll. There's the Duke. His action lets you take 3 credits. And you'll often find that in the first round of a game of coup, everyone is magically the Duke, and you know someone's fucking lying, but you're not willing to say anything about it. By the way, that's where the deception part comes in. I should have led with that. So
it is deception game.
Yeah, you don't have to. Obviously, you can lie about what you have and say you have something different. But if someone calls you out on it and they're right, you don't have that card, then you lose a card. So if I say I'm the Duke and I take 3 credits, and Liam says, no, you're not the fucking Duke, I have to then reveal my hand to him, and if I don't have a Duke in that hand, I have to discard one of my cards.
Oh, that's rough because, like, if somebody really is the Duke, they either have to call you out on it.
See, that's the thing, though. If you call someone out on it and they do have it, so if you said you don't have the Duke and I show them a Duke, then you lose a card.
No, but what I mean is, like, let's say I'm the Duke.
Yeah.
Do I really want to say that I'm actually the Duke? Like, would that actually benefit me, or would that end up hindering me?
Well, it's the decision. Right? You have to lie at opportune times.
Whew.
So yeah, that's the Duke. He lets you take 3. There's the Captain, which lets you steal 2 from someone else. There's the Ambassador, which lets you discard your hand and draw 2 new ones. I think he might also block the Captain stealing. I don't.
How many people can play Coup?
A lot. I think we played it with like 6 before. It's a very easy game.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who can play too.
There is the. I'm forgetting someone already.
Want me to look it up?
No. I'm just gonna wing it. There's the Assassin is the big one. Normally you have to pay 7 to kill someone. With the Assassin you only have to pay 3.
Oh, you just fucking cap someone from the game?
Yeah, but if someone doesn't think you have the Assassin. And then there's also the Contessa. The Contessa does nothing, but she blocks assassination attempts. So if Liam tries to assassinate me, I can say I have a Contessa. And if he wants to call me out on it, and he's right, then I lose 2 cards. And I lose the game immediately. But if he's wrong, then he loses 1. So it's interesting. I know I'm forgetting another rule. But that's basically how the game is played. Is everyone takes a turn performing one action, and you want to be the last one holding cards. And games of Coup are like lightning quick. I think it's a really fun game because you can just kind of take it out and play it in the span of like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's always the good thing about games like these. Like, usually they don't last very long.
I don't know. With stuff like Secret Hitler and Resistance,
yeah,
there's a bit of setup.
Yeah, those ones do take a bit. But usually with something like Coup or Werewolf or / Mafia, you can kind of just set them up real fast. And, like, if you need to break, like, let's say, like, you're just doing it before, like, dinner even starts or something like that. Or, like, you're at camp. Like, it's something you can just drop real quick, And, like, you don't have to worry too much about it.
Yeah. It's pretty basic.
So
that's about as much as I have to say about Coup. I think they released an expansion, but I haven't tried that.
So yeah. So then I'd say up from Coup then is probably the Resistance.
Resistance and Secret Hitler, because from what I remember, I played Resistance exactly once, and Secret Hitler exactly once.
I'd say Secret Hitler is only slightly more complex, but within the same realm.
Yeah, they're very similar. Resistance I find fucking infuriating.
Really?
Because the one time I played it, I was Merlin, which is, oh my god. Being Merlin in that game fucking sucks.
Oh, did you play, like, the medieval Resistance?
Yeah.
I've only played, like, the original.
So, Liam will describe what the Resistance is about, but in the medieval one at least, I don't know if this exists in the modern, or the cyberpunk one, but one person is given the Merlin role, and Merlin can look at who the other traitors are, but so he knows who they are, but at the end of the game, the traitors pick someone to kill, and if they kill Merlin, they win.
Oh.
So you can't fucking say anything.
That sucks.
It's the worst.
That fucking blows.
Yeah.
There's what game was I playing that had something? I think it was like another kind of werewolf game like that, where like if the werewolves were correctly able to choose one person. No, it wasn't werewolf.
Well, it's kind of Secret Hitler, where if you like get Hitler, you win. But
it's kind of like that, yeah. I forget who it was though, or what game it was. Anyway, but that's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
But the Resistance. So the Resistance, I've played it a few times and I really like it. Basically, you can play it. I think the smallest number of people you can play with really is 4.
Yeah.
Just because, like, if you have 3, or if you have less than 4, the numbers are just off and it won't be fun. You can't at all play with 2 people because then it's like, who's the traitor? I wonder.
Yeah.
But so essentially, everybody is given a role. You're either part of the Resistance or you're a government spy. And every turn, someone is chosen as the mission leader. Sorry. First, I should probably talk about what a mission is. A mission, every turn you have to run a mission, and if it's successful, that's 1 point for the Resistance. If you're not, that's 1 point for the traitors / government spies. And you need to hit 3 points, essentially. So 3 mission successes to win. for the resistance, or 3 mission failures to win as the government spy or spies. So at the beginning of each turn, play passes to the left. So let's say I started as like the mission leader. I was the first person. Next would be like Will, and then Ray, and then whoever else. So play passes to the left. That person is now the new mission leader, and you have to say yes or no. So everybody votes. They're like, we want this guy as the mission leader, or we don't want this guy as mission leader. And you can either, you look like you want to say something.
No, just I drank like a whole fucking energy drink before this, and I'm all like twitchy and fucked. So I'm not trying to weigh in. I'm just being a fucking gremlin.
Twitchy.
Yeah.
But so if people can say no, people can say yes. You need everybody to say yes. That kind of gets fucky later on. But you need everybody to say yes in order to have a mission leader selected. If you lose, like if 5 times in a row people say no, then like the traitors win. There's certain things where there are certain things in place where like the traitors can't just be like, ooh, no, like 5 times. Like,
yeah.
I forget exactly what's in place, but essentially that. Anyway, mission leader then chooses 2 people. I think for like larger games, you choose more than 2, but for like smaller games, you choose 2 people. And they go on a mission together. They're handed, and the leader can choose him or herself. They are given a yes card and a no card that means mission success or mission fail. And if you both play mission success, so like the mission is a success, if one of you chooses mission success and the other chooses mission fail, then the mission is a fail.
Yeah.
But no one knows who chose what. It's entirely secret. Things are handed under the shelf. They're shuffled around. Nobody knows what's going on. Sorry, I was holding back a burp there.
Like we said. Significantly fewer bodily noises.
And yeah, so that's Resistance. And I really like Resistance because I think it adds like a really, like, it makes, like, it takes Werewolf and then just like adds stuff, like 2 little twists on it that really fuck things up.
Yeah. Because like, one of the big things is like, you can't really trust anyone in these kinds of games, and Resistance and Secret Hitler in particular, we'll talk about Secret Hitler in a second, but they're very, very good at like making you feel it.
And they pit you against your friends.
Yeah.
You will not like your friends.
I'm very bad at both of these games, but the one thing I will say, the one strategy, is just assume everyone is the enemy.
Yeah.
Because once you like start operating from that mindset, it's easier to figure things out.
Yeah. Don't assume. Yeah. So start with everybody as your enemy, and then narrow it down to the few people who you think might be okay.
Yeah.
Never assume everyone's okay though.
Yeah. No.
You know what's funny about Jack? This is why I love playing these games with him, is that he doesn't fucking care what role he'll get. He just fucks whatever he wants with. Like, one time him and I were playing the Resistance together, and I was like, I knew I was part of the Resistance, and then 3 times in a row, there was a mission fail, and I was like, wait, how did these missions fail 3 times in a row? Am I the only Resistance? And then Jack was like, I just wanted to spice things up. And I was like, Jack!
Dude, he's playing the fucking long con.
Dude, he was!
See, that's the thing, is your enemy can't predict what you're doing if you don't know what you're doing.
But yeah, I love Jack for those reasons.
Yeah.
And one time he was Hitler in Secret Hitler, and that was the weirdest moment of my life.
Jack can't be Hitler. That's wrong.
If Jack is ever Hitler, I don't know what I'd do with myself.
Yeah. Once again, Jack is a hero of the Imperium.
True.
Canonized saint.
Up there with Saint Celestine is like number one.
She got them thighs, though.
Is that what the Space Marines say about Celestine?
Hell yeah. No, but real talk, I don't think they do, because the Space Marines are kind of like mad gay. Like, listen, I like Space Marines, but their lore's like, I don't mean gay as in like stupid, I mean gay as in genuinely homo.
Like actual homosexuals.
Yeah. But
I mean, like if you look at who was the Blood Angels Fulgrim, the most fabulous man alive.
Oh, Sanguinius.
Sanguinius.
Like, very subtle there, but...
But, like...
Yeah, Sanguinius he's for the boys.
He
died for his emperor, like a good Primarch.
True.
Yeah.
But, like, he's
one of, like, 3 Primarchs that are actually cool. The rest of them are dumb.
It's kind of true.
Like, I'm a controversial statement, potentially. I don't give a fuck about the Horus Heresy. Stop shoving that garbage down my throat. I'm so sick of seeing the fucking Horus Heresy.
Also, Vulcan, #1 Primarch.
He's fine. He's there.
I love Vulcan. Vulcan is my fucking favorite.
Okay.
Listen, this isn't a Warhammer episode.
Primarch tier list. Sanguinius, S tier for Sanguinius. Fucking also S tier, the Khan. The Khan is the boy.
I hear he has a real jagged eye.
What
the fuck was that? Sugar good. Fucking ooga ooga caveman over here being like, sugar good.
You would say suka.
Suka what?
Okay, let's just get into Secret Hitler before I derail this train once again.
Oh jeez, oh me.
Ah, jeez, oh me. Are you a Hitler? Oh wow, I knew it.
I always wanted to meet another Hitler. I work for a Hitler.
I felt like a god sucking on that nasty fascist breast.
Oh jeez, oh me.
Oh, jeez. I knew you loved Nox deep down. I know you have it in you.
He's coming around.
He's the boy. He's the best.
I hate him as a person, but I love him as a meme.
That's the thing, is the meme and the person are one. I am a Nox Monophyte.
What the fuck is a Monophyte?
Those of you who are well versed in history will know.
Oh yeah. Fuck, I need to look up what a fucking Monophyte is.
Basically, a Monophyte was like a Christian religious
fucking
movement.
Byzantine.
Yeah. I've been listening to another podcast called The History of Byzantium. Great podcast, by the way. But just basically the polar opposite of this one, in that his is like well-researched and professional, and then this is this. But
a person who holds that in the person of Jesus Christ there is only one nature, wholly divine, or only subordinately human, not two. That is like strictly against my Catholic upbringing, where we believe in both.
Well, where do you think that came from? There was like the huge religious debate of the day.
I mean, that and like all the fucking... I mean, actually, no, that wouldn't have happened at this point. Never mind. Dude, do you think the Pope would be on our podcast?
No.
Listen, if the Pope listens...
Let's stop, because I'm gonna say something I really shouldn't. So we're just gonna
Hold on. Tell it to me. We're gonna put a big break. That way we know when to delete it. All right, ready?
I was just gonna go off on a big fucking diatribe about how like Catholicism's bullshit and Eastern Orthodox is the truth.
See, this is the thing. Will's Eastern Orthodox, and I'm a good Catholic boy.
Seriously, we have to not put religion in, because some annoying fucking 12-year-old who just discovered atheism is going to come out like, oh, your God doesn't real nerds. Fedora dab. I mean, we're probably going to cut this out, but on the off chance it shows up in a Jizo Man episode, we don't hate atheism. I completely understand it. I'm not...
Kay is a very big atheist.
I mean, we shouldn't just start going through people's religious affiliations now, but, like, I don't care what you are. Just don't give me shit about what I am. We're good.
Listen. Don't fuck with me.
We should also probably cut it out, because I was going to say a lot of shit about the Pope Diddlin. That was going to be a big talking point.
Pope tier list.
Fucking S tier. Whichever Pope Urban was the one that did the Crusades. S tier.
I think it was Urban the Fourth.
Or which one was like the one that was like the most brutal, but was also called Pope Innocent?
Oh yeah. Oh no, it was Pope Urban II. He gave the Crusades their meme.
Let's just fucking, you know what? Let's leave this in. I think this is the best part of the podcast. So speaking of fucking Nazism, because I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard somewhere that the Catholic Church helped some Nazis get out of Europe and into the South.
From what I understand, I am a good Catholic boy, but from what I understand, it's actually well documented. Like that did actually happen, which is one of the darker parts of the Catholic Church. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the darkest, because the Catholic Church has done a lot of horrible shit.
Everyone does horrible shit. Listen, I don't actually have a bone to pick with Catholicism. I'm just trying to fucking...
It's a meme.
Push Liam's buttons because it's funny to me. It's like literally every human organization on Earth has done something awful at some point.
It's true.
You cannot get around it. I was going to say the Boy Scouts didn't, but they probably diddled someone.
I mean...
They almost certainly did.
Like, I'm pretty sure there have been multiple instances where that's happened.
Yeah, for sure. But, again, I don't care what you are religiously. I hope that you will extend me the same courtesy.
Agreed.
That's my view on religion right there.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about Nazis.
Fucking Secret Hitler.
Secret Hitler is wicked fun, but it's part of the reason that... it's part of the reason Kay and I have a rocky relationship. Because, alright, let me explain this.
I am terminally bad at Secret Hitler, so I'm just going to leave this to Liam. I have a great deal of difficulty, like, lying to people, unless it's something exceedingly stupid. And even then, it takes me a lot of effort to, like...
But, so, yeah. Secret Hitler. Essentially, everybody's given a role. They're either liberal or...
Cut that out.
Yeah, we're going to cut that out.
That's not good. And we have to actually sit through the entire editing process this time and not just fucking halfway through go, fuck it. Throw it up anyway. Because I keep listening back to them and I keep like hearing parts like, we really should have taken that out. Let's actually wrap this up soon though, so we don't have to go through as much.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, we can make Secret Hitler the last one, last game we'll talk about, and then we can talk about like all the other stuff on the outline. But so Secret Hitler is everybody's either given a liberal or a fascist card, and one of the fascists is Hitler. I didn't mean to.
We swore, Liam.
I tried.
We swore.
We buried him. That's one of like my favorite lines. Like if you're just like fucking around and be like, we buried him.
we need to get through Secret Hitler.
I'm sorry.
Holy fuck.
So,
okay.
Secret Hitler.
Yeah.
As I said, liberal to fascist, also one person's Hitler.
Correct.
So, there are two different tracks. There's the liberal track, and then there's the fascist track, and the fascist track has an easy track or a hard track. The liberals want to pass, I think there's either 5 or 6 liberal squares, and if you are able to get the 5 or 6, the liberals win.
Correct.
Now, there's also the fascist track. The fascist track has some funky shit to it. There are also 6 squares, but when you get past on the easy track, the 3rd square, you now get like special powers.
Yeah.
So
before we get into that, we should probably explain. Every round, someone is chosen to be, I believe, the chancellor or the prime minister.
The first person chosen is the president, and then the president chooses a running mate, which is the chancellor.
Yeah. So the way that works is whoever's the president draws 3 policies from the deck, some of which are fascist, some which are liberal. The president discards one of those and then hands the remaining 2 to the chancellor, who then picks one to enact as a policy. So you have like 3 different levels there where something can be fucked up.
Yeah.
And 3 different levels of blame. So what can happen is, like, say I'm the president and I'm a fascist and I draw 3 cards. It's like
liberal, fascist.
Yeah, liberal, fascist. I throw away, or even if it's like liberal, fascist, I throw away the liberal one, hand it to the chancellor, in the hopes that
you can talk your way into being like, I either got 2 fascist cards, or I gave him a liberal and a fascist. He chose the fascist.
Yeah. Or if you're the chancellor, you can play a fascist card and say, no, the president just fucked me and handed me 2 fascist policies. I had to do it.
Yep.
So
there's a lot
of layers to Secret Hitler. I've only played it a handful of times, and I'm too Unga caveman to understand the subtle intricacies of Weimar politics.
You're too sugar good.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and so this game. Let me talk about this game for a second. This game. Now I try not to get angry.
You don't.
Well, I try. When it comes to games, like, unless it's something like Secret Hitler, I really try not to get angry at other people, like, personally angry. No, I do. I'll get angry in the game, and I'll shout at you, and I'll be like, fuck you. But I do try not to take what happens
I blow my
personally.
stack when I play, like, video games by myself, but never, like, multiplayer games.
See, I'll get, like, really pissed at multiplayer games, especially at our friend Quinn when we play Civ, because he's so fucking good at the game, and I fucking suck. So he just murders me.
I might be able to take him in Civ 5. When this is an open fucking challenge. You and me, Civ 5, let's fucking go. I beat the game on Immortal. I fear no man.
Actually, I think he's beaten on Deity.
Alright.
But I do try. I'll get angry. I'll shout at people, but I try not to take it personally. Secret Hitler is the one game that forces me to take it personally. I played with, I won't mention his first name, I mentioned his first name, I won't mention his last name, Zach. I played with Zach, and I hate that guy now. Because I don't know what it is, but sometimes I have wicked big brain moments, and I connect the dots, and I'm just like, I see everything.
Yeah.
And I've done it twice now, where I played once with Zach. The first time I played with Zach, Henry's brother was Hitler, and I knew it, and no one believed me, and I was like, guys, you motherfuckers,
that is actually,
listen.
That's kind of why that game infuriates me, is because no one, like, it doesn't matter what happens. Like, the one game I played, I was a liberal, and I kept getting screwed over by, when I was, like, elected chancellor, the president would keep fucking me and handing me 2 fascists.
Yep.
And I'd be like, fucking Henry's brother did it to me, too.
Yeah.
Where you just, like, you just handed me 2 fascists. Or no, I handed him, like, a liberal and a fascist. He patches the fascist. He blames me for handing him 2 fascists. And he's like, okay, so we know Will's a fucking fascist. I'm like, no, I'm not! Fucking...
And, like, that's it. And you're, like, fucking shouting, and you get wicked into it, and you're like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Now, Henry's girlfriend in the game I played was a fascist.
Yep.
Jack was a Hitler.
She's weirdly good at that game.
She's extremely good, but I saw through
she's
her.
Very good.
I saw through her fucking lies.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what you are. And then Kay, the motherfucker that he is. Fuck you, Kay. Kay, that motherfucker, was like, no, she's a liberal. She's a liberal. And I'm like, no! And I was screaming at him and I was shouting, and it came down to the last vote. Jack was fucking chancellor, and Henry's girlfriend was the fucking president. And I was like, if you vote yay, you fuck us. Because 2 liberals are dead. and there were like tons of us in the game. And I was like, God fucking damn it. Fucking your K. Fucking vote nay. And he's like, I really trust her, so I'm going to vote yay. And then Jack was like, I'm Hitler. And B was like, I'm a fascist. And I was like, fuck you! Like, oh my God. And the way we played it off was that Kay, like that moderate, or was the moderate in the...
Well, he always plays that kind of style, so, you know, when he does go fascist, you don't see it coming.
Dude, I fucking hate that.
Basically, everyone but me is good at this game.
I'm okay at the game.
I don't know. I'm not good at this kind of shit, but
The only time I'm good at that game is when I do have my big brain moments and I just connect everything. I'm like, I know where everybody is.
You become fucking L.
Dude, that's what it is. That's what it feels like sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, wait, everything makes sense. I can see it all. I am the god of this new world.
That's the other one.
I know. But I still am the god of this new world. Fair. But I'm dealing with a fucking atheist!
Alright, let's get this reined in. Deception games,
they piss you off.
Yeah. They can be a lot of fun. They can also drive you up the fucking wall. If you're the sort of person who likes debate, likes kind of social mystery puzzles, you'll love these kinds of games. Oh yeah. If you're the sort of person who isn't like that, like me, and you don't understand what's happening until it's too late, you won't like these games.
Or if you're that kind of person, but also a masochist.
Yeah.
Or if you want to really.
Again, we believe on this podcast in not telling you what to do.
True.
So you can do whatever the fuck you want, including play this game when you're not good at it, which is why I play this game.
Also, if you hate a group of friends, and you
bring want an excuse to get ludicrously angry and leave.
Yes, and just be like, fuck you, man! I'm never playing anything with you guys again. And then you just leave smiling because you're like, mission accomplished.
Ruse complete.
Ruse complete. But yeah, that's the type of person who would enjoy these games or not enjoy these games or anything really.
It is a good party game. If just real talk. If you guys have a sort of friend group where you're not gonna get genuinely pissed off, or you understand it it's all in the game, which is the correct mentality, but I understand not everyone has it. I'm not judging you. I get that way sometimes too.
Same.
But if you have a friend group that can handle it, it's great. Or if you if you're the sort of person who likes arguing with their friends, it's also pretty cool.
Which I'm both, Yeah.
Although we argue about menial worship, Nox monotheism.
Nox is but a man.
He is both man and meme.
I will die on this hill.
As will I.
So, I guess now that we kind of talked about the games, we'll talk about what skills are used for these games.
We've basically been talking about that.
You think so?
Yeah, you need a lot of deductive reasoning skills.
And inductive reasoning?
Yeah. I forget the difference between the two, and I don't really want to get into it.
Deductive is...
Deductive is narrowing it down, whereas inductive is expanding out. Yeah. Right.
Dude, we did it.
Hell yeah. You need both of those.
Also, just social, being able to read people can be really handy. Yeah. Or if you're like me and just have random strokes of big brain.
Yeah. It's also just kind of deception games tend to be very compact in terms of games. It's not a huge box full of bullshit.
Yeah, no.
There's not a lot of setup. I'm very sorry.
I was not expecting that one.
There's not a lot of setup time. It's just kind of you deal the cards, you're ready to go. So that's why it makes for a great party game. It makes for a great thing to do while you're waiting for other things to happen. And yeah, it's just a fun party experience.
Yeah, I'd wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah. And it's also good because there's something for some of them you can just kind of pick them up and play.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them require a bit of setup, and others you can just kind of go.
And they're also generally speaking, very cheap. Coup is $15,
which for board games, nice.
Yeah, it's very good. Also, again, this is a party game, so it's probably easier to convince your friends, hey, let's all split the cost of this.
Yeah.
Everyone puts in $5, and now we have Secret Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I guess that's all I gotta say.
I mean, do you have any favorites? Would Coup be your favorite?
I just like Coup because Coup and or the werewolf mafia style games, just because I understand those. I can actually I can get the reasoning skills I need to play mafia. Whereas Secret Hitler, I just maybe I just haven't played enough and I don't get all the intricacies.
Yeah. I personally would have to say Secret Hitler is one of my favorites, as well as Werewolf.
Despite the fact that it has ruined your relationship with two people now.
Yes.
Great.
See, that's why I love it. I love the burn.
I love the pain.
Ice burns hotter than fire. But the one game we didn't mention, I don't think we'll have to go into it because we're kind of running low on time.
Yeah.
But if you want to look it up individually, our listeners, there's a really good game called Deception. Have you played Deception?
It sounds super familiar.
It's like Deception, like a murder in Hong Kong, I think it's called.
Oh, no.
But essentially, one person plays as the murderer, and then everybody else plays in... You are also a forensic investigator. Or not forensic, just an investigator. Everyone's an investigator. One of the investigators murdered somebody.
Yeah.
And you have cards in front of you, like the murder weapon and like a clue. Like you have like a murder weapon and a clue, like an extra clue. And then one person who cannot speak throughout the whole game plays the forensic investigator and tries to give clues to all the investigators, including yourself. And it's a big mind fuck as to like trying to like be like the investigator really tries to like point out the murderer, and then like the murderer is like, no, it could be that guy's clues, and it's really fun like that. That's another one of my favorites. I would recommend looking that up individually, though. We're not going to get too into that one.
Yeah. I guess you could call Diplomacy a deception game too, in a weird way.
How so?
Because like that's the whole. Isn't that the whole point of Diplomacy? Is like you're making your moves. Diplomacy is like a World War I game, by the way.
I fucking hate that game.
I don't like it either.
Mostly because the people I played it with, I'm not going to mention the names because I don't want them to be butthurt.
Yeah.
The people I played it with were dicks about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a youngin' first time playing, and I lost within like the first 3 moves because no one explained anything to me.
When I played it like one time, you probably played... I probably played the same people you did. Where like
yes.
one person had like a minor rules question, and like they spent the next 45 minutes picking through the rule book trying to figure this out, and it's just like, oh my god, can I fucking move on with my life? This sucks ass.
I get what you mean, though. It kind of is like a deception game where like you keep your actions almost hidden until like you have to reveal your actions and everything.
Yeah. I mean, again, deception game is kind of like a vague descriptor that can fit a lot of games, but we're specifically talking about where deception's the point.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess we'll just wrap up the episode here.
Yeah, I think
we're rambling now. I mean, this has been a non-stop ramble, but now we're especially rambling about shit that does not matter. So, this has been Tabletop Trainwreck. Find us
on a lot of things:
Spotify, YouTube, and Podbean.com.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram and Twitter. I forget the handles. Oh, again.
You'll find us.
Yeah. We're technically on Reddit, but we don't like. I don't know.
We don't post anything there.
Reddit fucking sucks.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Not even really a hot take.
And I'm not even trying to be like a tribalist, like, oh, the 4chan is the best, because I hate 4chan too.
We hate all of them.
All those big sites suck cock, but whatever. The one you like is the worst. Fuck yourself.
I'm more upset with it because there's a podcast subreddit, and we can't share in it because we don't have enough.
I'm just going to go on another diatribe about why I fucking hate Reddit. Every single one of those fucking subreddits is a communist regime run by like a group of insular weirdos. It's like, oh, you can't post here because they're so deathly afraid of someone shit posting that they bring down Hammurabi's fucking code about who can post and who can't, and what your post has to have in it, and where you can post, and how long the post can be, and all this stupid shit. Just like, oh my god, just let me put something in there. And like, oh, you don't have enough fucking internet credits to proceed. Sorry, plebeian. Go back to the slums.
Yeah, if you're looking for us on any subreddit, the only subreddit we can post to because we have enough karma to is r/podcast sharing.
Also, what the fuck is up with that where you need karma to put a fucking post there? Like, what?
Like, how can we post if we don't have karma to begin with?
If you do what we did, where you make an account for the purpose of the podcast, how the fuck are you going to get the karma you need to get that podcast anywhere if there's a fucking karma gate to post in the relevant fucking subreddits?
And like that subreddit, the subreddit we want to post to has like 18,000 members. That's a big chunk of change.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, did we do all our little plugs there at the end? I think we did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is Bill.
This is Liam.
And fuck you.
Paka uvidimся.